Hey everyone, welcome back. In this video, I'm going to explain Linux namespaces. And you know why this matters? Because most engineers use containers every day without understanding the kernel primitives that actually make them possible. If you think a container is a lightweight virtual machine, you are fundamentally wrong. Getting this wrong leads to broken network policies, misconfigured security, and production outages at 3 in the morning. Let us dive into the core isolation engine of the Linux kernel. Specifically, we will look at the fundamental isolation problem, what Linux namespaces actually are, and the 6 primary namespace types. We will also cover how to manipulate namespaces with the Unshare command, look at real-world production scenarios, discuss common configuration pitfalls, and decide when you should use direct namespace management. These are the topics we are going to cover in this video, so do not skip ahead. Watch all the way through to actually understand this properly. Quick note before we dive in, this channel shares practical IT tutorials daily. So if that is useful to you, hit subscribe and. So what is the real problem here? On a standard Linux system, every process is part of a single shared view of the world. If you run two different web servers, they both try to bind to port 80. If you run a database, any other user on the system can see that process in the process table. That is a massive security and stability risk. Without namespaces, you are forced to run every single application as if it were the only thing on the server. There is no way to create an isolated environment for a specific set of tasks. That is the pain point namespaces solve. So what is a Linux namespace exactly? It is a kernel feature that partitions resources so different processes see different views of the system. Think of it like a hotel. Every guest stays in the same building, but they each have their own room with their own bed, bathroom, and television. From inside your room, you have no idea what is happening in the room next door. You cannot see their belongings or hear their conversations. Namespaces are the walls and the locks that provide this isolation within the same building, which is the Linux kernel. Here is how it works internally. The kernel manages a global set of resources like the process ID table or the network routing table. When you create a namespace, the kernel essentially creates a filtered view of those resources. Process group A interacts with namespace A, which only shows them their own filtered slice of the kernel. Process group B interacts with namespace B, which shows them a completely different slice. They are isolated, yet they are still running on the same underlying operating system. There are 6 primary namespaces you need to know. First, the mount namespace isolates file system mount points, so different processes see different file system trees. Second, the process ID namespace isolates process identifiers, allowing multiple processes to have the same ID number in different namespaces. Third, the network namespace isolates network stacks, including interfaces, IP addresses, and routing tables. Fourth, the interprocess communication namespace handles isolation for shared memory and message queues. Fifth, the UTS namespace isolates the host name and domain name, so containers can have their own names. Finally, the user namespace isolates user and group IDs, which allows a process to have root privileges inside a container but be a regular user on the host. Take a moment to review each point shown on screen. Before we start, let us cover the requirements. You need a Linux system running kernel version 3.8 or newer, such as Ubuntu 22.04 or later. You must have root or sudo privileges, as creating new namespaces requires elevated permissions. You also need the Unshare utility, which is included in the ubuild Linux package on almost every distribution. To open your terminal, press the Ctrl, Alt, and T keys at the same time. If you do not have Unshare installed, you can get it by running the Package Manager update and install commands for your distribution. Take a moment to review each point shown on screen. Let us put this into practice. On line 1, We use the Unshare command to create a new UTS, PID, and mount namespace. The fork option ensures we start a new process in these new namespaces. Once inside, we change the host name on line 2 to show that our UTS namespace is isolated. Finally, on line 3, we run the process list. Notice that our shell is now process ID 1 inside this new namespace. That is exactly right. We have created an isolated environment from scratch. This is the output you should see. Notice that the PID column shows a bash shell as process ID 1. In a normal shell, this would be a much higher number. This confirms that we have successfully entered a new PID namespace. The host name we set is also reflected in the command prompt. Everything is isolated. Now let us look at the network namespace. On line 1, we use Unshare with the net flag. When we run the interface list on line 2, we see absolutely nothing. It is a completely empty network stack. On line 3, we bring up the local loopback interface. When we run the list command again on line 4, our loopback interface appears. We have created a network environment that has no access to the host's network interfaces. The output confirms our loopback device is up. Note that there are no physical interfaces like Ethernet or Wi-Fi here. They are hidden from this namespace. This is how container runtimes start a container with a clean, isolated network environment. In a production environment, you would not do this manually. A senior engineer would use a script like this. We define all 6 namespaces in a variable on line 2. On line 3, we use the unshare command with the map root user flag. This maps the root user inside the namespace to a non-privileged user on the host. This provides security by ensuring that even if the worker app is compromised, it has no real root access to the host machine. The output shows the worker process started successfully. It confirms the namespace isolation and the user mapping. This is the foundation of how tools like Docker and Podman provide security for your applications. You might see this error, operation not permitted. Why does this happen? Because you forgot to use sudo. Creating new namespaces is a sensitive operation that can be used to bypass system security, so the kernel requires root privileges. The fix is simple. Prefix your command with sudo or run the command as the root user. Consider a SaaS provider serving 3 million users. They faced a critical issue where tenant jobs were leaking data to each other. By simply wrapping every tenant task in its own set of Linux namespaces, they isolated the file system and user context. This reduced security audit failures by 95%. It is a powerful native solution that is already built into the kernel. So when should you use this? Use raw namespaces if you are building your own container engine or a custom sandbox. It is perfect when you need isolation without the overhead of a full virtual machine. However, do not use raw namespaces if you can use Docker or Podman. They handle the complex lifecycle management for you. Also, if your application needs hardware-level security, namespaces alone are not enough. You should use a VM-based sandbox like Kata containers instead. Use these criteria to decide if this tool is right for your situation. Namespaces are the primary mechanism for process isolation in Linux. There are 6 types of namespaces that isolate different kernel resources, from the file system to the network stack. You can manipulate these namespaces directly using the unshare command to test isolation. User namespaces provide the best security by mapping host users to container roots. Finally, remember that modern container engines like Docker are essentially just managers for these kernel namespaces. Use this knowledge to build safer, more secure applications. I believe this video will definitely be a useful video. If you liked the video, Please do like and hype the video. Also share it with your friends and groups. It may be useful to somebody else. If you have any doubts or any requests, please let me know in the comments. Make sure you have subscribed to stay updated for our regular videos. Join our WhatsApp community using the link in the description because we share more knowledgeable content every day. Thank you for watching. See you soon in the next video.